How's it going, guys? Welcome to it. This is WWE 2K15 Audio Universe Mode. We're on NXT episode 13 of this series, and we're coming off our previous episode, which was Monday Night Raw, and the next episode, being SmackDown, will be the finale of this week. This is week 4, day Sunday, and I'm hoping to get SmackDown done right after this episode so I can upload both episodes back to back before the end of the day for you guys. I was unable to record yesterday because we had a power cut and electricity came back late and batteries were low, so I couldn't really do anything. But today, thank goodness, no power cut for now, hoping there won't be a power cut later on in the day, because usually if there's no power on Saturday, there's always the chance that power will be cut again on Sundays. So lucky today, no power cut. So let's get these 2 episodes done in case there is power cut later in the evening. But at least if we can have both episodes done and uploaded for you guys, we can end the day on a good note. And tomorrow, Monday, I'm hoping to at least have watched NXT, TNA, Ring of Honor, and SmackDown. I haven't gotten the chance to watch those shows. Then I can do a review for them and upload an episode. If I can't do it tomorrow, Monday, then it will be for Tuesday. So you guys look forward to that. So let's kick off our NXT episode with the most must-see champion on TV right now. Who else but WWE's very first World Television Champion, The Miz, coming to NXT for the very first time ever, or just this series, to host Miz TV right here on NXT. And for him, the crowd should be privileged to have this guy, a main roster guy, coming down to host his show on their show. And being an A-list guy with an A-list show, he's going to have an A-list guest. And who else but his former tag partner? Together, they're former tag team champions. Who else but our current NXT champion, John Morrison, coming to the ring with his pals, the new NXT tag team champions, Tyler Breeze and the Brian Kendrick. They're coming in to catch up with The Miz, to talk about being champions. John Morrison, of course, in his 10th month right now as NXT champion, having retained it at our first NXT special takeover Supremacy the previous week. And also there, Tyler Breeze and the Brian Kendrick, they defeated Rhino and Baron Corbin to become the new NXT tag team champions. They also talk about The Miz becoming the very first World Television Champion in the WWE. What does it mean for him being this very first champion? What plans does he have going forward? What does it mean also for the rest of the WWE now that there's a World Television Championship title around? But the party doesn't last very long, of course, guys, because who else is going to come to crash the party but the number one contender for the NXT Championship, Kevin Owens. The man also was a factor in the main event at TakeOver Supremacy, the reason why Morrison is still the champion right now. So Kevin Owens is surprised to find The Miz on NXT. Of course, Miz being a main roster guy, Owens is intrigued to find him on NXT hosting Miz TV. Owens as well is aware of the World Television Championship, and he reminds The Miz and everyone else that The Miz has to defend the championship on a weekly basis and at the pay-per-view. During the week, during the month, I would say, it's on a different show. The first week, of course, being on the show he is currently signed up for, Miz being a Raw superstar, defended the championship on Raw the previous episode against John Cena. And next week, The Miz will be back on NXT to defend the World Television Championship against a random NXT superstar. Anyone from the NXT locker room who wants to step up and go one-on-one against The Miz for that championship, they'll have the opportunity in the next NXT episode next week. And of course, The Miz, he doesn't want to be reminded that he's going to be defending this championship on NXT next week. And of course, that gets the crowd into that chant that started on Raw, the one-time champion chant, which was started by Hot Rod, Roddy Piper, when he was talking to The Miz before he defended the championship against Cena. Now, Miz, of course, he's not bothered about the one-time champion chant. He's not bothered about defending the championship anyway, because he knows he's going to come out of it as still the World Television Champion. He's that confident in his ability. Of course, he's going to brag about getting an upset win over John Cena after hitting him with his own move, the AA, which Miz rebranded as the Awesome Adjustment, using it on Cena before that quick roll-up pin and getting the victory over John Cena. So Miz, he has that momentum on his shoulder. He's got a chip on the other shoulder again, but Owens, he's not going to let that go, and he reminds Morrison that they're going to have their match next month at the next NXT special. But before Owens can get to the ring and perhaps get into a scuffle with Morrison and The Miz, the tag team champions make their move going for Owens. They don't get that far because the previous tag team champions, Rhino and Baron Corbin, they come out and go after the tag team champions, which leaves Owens to go after the NXT champion. But with Miz around, the former tag team champions, they get the advantage over Owens, and it becomes a 2-on-1. This leads to the general manager, Teddy Long, popping up on the big screen, hopefully to sort things out. He sets up the main event match for tonight. Miz and Morrison will be teaming up one more time against Kevin Owens and a partner of his choice. Now, this is interesting because most guys in the back, they don't really like Kevin Owens. So who's going to be his tag team partner against Miz and Morrison? We'll have to find out. And as for the tag team champions, the general manager lets them know that Rhino and Baron Corbin are exercising their right as former champions, and they want a rematch. And this match will happen in the kickoff show for Payback. But it won't be a normal match. They want a stipulation, a different match type for this rematch. And this will be revealed on the last NXT episode before Payback. So the tag team champions, they've got 2 weeks to think about what will Rhino and Baron Corbin choose for their rematch. What kind of match will they have at Payback? We'll have to find out. But now we've got our main event, and also Rhino will be taking on the Brian Kendrick one-on-one. As you know, at Supremacy, Brian Kendrick cost Rhino from retaining the tag team championship because he got a hold of Rhino before he could go for the gore on Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze, of course, would take advantage and get the pin over the Man Beast. So now he gets his chance at revenge, going up against the Brian Kendrick later on tonight. But now, let's kick off this show with our very first match, continuing from Supremacy. This is Justin Gabriel representing G2 with Corey Graves and Gabriel. They formed G2. They were in action at Supremacy against a mystery tag team, and they faced the former NXT champions Sami Zayn and Neville. They stepped up to face G2 in their very first appearance at an NXT special. They got the upset win over the former champions, and tonight Justin Gabriel gets to go one-on-one against Sami Zayn, perhaps cause another upset over the former NXT champion, or does Sami Zayn have a trick up his sleeve against Gabriel just to prove that their win at Supremacy was nothing but a fluke? Now, as you can expect, Justin Gabriel coming into this match looking for an upset against Sami Zayn. He's bringing everything he's got, hoping to prove to Sami Zayn that their victory was not a fluke, that they got the win fair and square. Despite that, we know that G2, of course, they displayed another side to them. They got more aggressive in that match, and Graves, of course, took out Neville, while Sami Zayn was taken advantage of by Justin Gabriel. He got the win over him. But this match, Sami Zayn, of course, he's well aware of that aggression, that other side of G2, and he works around it, causing an upset over Justin Gabriel. He's looking to finish Sami Zayn with that forward Russian leg sweep. Of course, Sami Zayn reverses that to go for a quick small package pin, getting the win over Justin Gabriel, just to let him know that they've got G2's number. They shouldn't sit pretty and be comfortable just because they defeated former NXT champions on their very first outing at a special. Sami Zayn, he gets the win over Justin Gabriel. Now we wonder what happens to Neville and Corey Graves. When will they get their one-on-one match? We'll have to find out when. But right now, Sami Zayn getting the win over Justin Gabriel. And we move on to match number 2. This is Naomi and Tamina taking on the legends Lita and Trish Stratus on their road to becoming number 1 contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Naomi and Tamina, they made the challenge in the previous episode on Monday Night Raw. Right after the Legends with Mickie James, they defeated the team of Sasha Banks and Charlotte, and of course the WWE Women's Champion Bayley. Naomi and Tamina, they are tired of what they would call hero worship of these legends. They want these ladies to step aside and let the women who are running the roster, the women's division right now in the WWE, to have their chance to become legends just like them. And of course, this upset the tag team champions and of course the legends, and they're here tonight on NXT looking to shut Naomi and Tamina up and prove to them that they've got a long way to go before they can call themselves legends or even be half as good as Lita and Trish Stratus. But of course, Naomi and Tamina, they also have something to prove. They of course fought Lita and Trish Stratus in that tag team tournament that happened in the previous month. That's when the legends, they got a win over Naomi and Tamina, despite the fight that Naomi and Tamina, they put up against these legends. They gave them a good match, but the legends, they got the win over them. Now coming back after the tournament as Team Bad, Beautiful, and Dangerous, Naomi and Tamina, they're ready to take on these legends, refreshed and reborn with a new vision, new strategy. Now they're not looking at the legends, they're looking at the tag team titles. They want to become the next number 1 contenders and face Charlotte and Sasha Banks and prove that they are the most dominant tag team in the women's division right now. They've got an uphill battle against these legends who've got some momentum from defeating the trio of champions on Raw. They've got some momentum. They're ready to go against Naomi and Tamina. And in reverse, Team Bad, of course, having something to prove and wanting to put the money where their mouth is. They're up against the legends. They've got aggression on their side, and this forces the legends to step up and fight back. Naomi displaying her athletic ability against these legends. She can hang with either of them. Tamina, the powerhouse in this team, also able to go on against Lita and Trish Stratus, and of course they are forced to team up against Tamina because on their own they can't really get that far. Tamina, she can go against either of them. She's ready to take either of them down. But the Legends refusing to back down, they get the advantage over Team Bad. Trish Stratus looking for the chick kick on Naomi. But unfortunately, that gets reversed and Naomi gets to hit rear view in time for Tamina to tag herself in and go for that super fly splash on Stratus. Lita too late to come in and save her partner as Tamina goes for the pin and gets the win for Team Bad. Lita gets the chance to come in and save her partner, but Tamina gets to her first, dropping Lita with that Samoan drop. Team Bad, they've made their mark. They've defeated the Legends. Payback for the tag team tournament, and as proof to the champions that they're ready to do this. They're ready to step up and become the next number one contenders for the women's tag team championship titles. So what happens now going forward? They'll be on SmackDown, Naomi and Tamina, but what happens there? Will they confront the tag team champions, or will another team step up and challenge Team Bad for their claim for the number one contender spot? You stick around and we look forward to SmackDown to find out. Team Bad, they'll be on SmackDown. Now we go backstage where G2 Graves has caught up with Gabriel to talk about what happened earlier, his upset loss to Sami Zayn, and they start planning on what happens forward. Graves, of course, looking forward to going one-on-one against Neville soon. Then Devin Taylor coming into looking for an interview with these guys to talk about the match against Sami Zayn, but she doesn't get a word in because coming in also is Kevin Owens. He's looking for that partner to team up with him against Miz and Morrison in that main event, and Owens, he's looking at Justin Gabriel, who still wants to go because he's not happy about that upset loss to Sami Zayn, and if Justin Gabriel wants to team up with Kevin Owens for another match, he's ready to go. But Graves, he feels Justin Gabriel should take the time to cool off and relax for the rest of the night. Graves will team up with Kevin Owens. Owens is cool with that as long as he has someone to go up against Miz and Morrison, and just as long as Graves doesn't slow him and the team down. Graves is not worried about that. He'll step up and give Owens some backup. So there you have it, guys. Kevin Owens has found his tag team partner for that main event, Miz and Morrison against Owens and Corey Graves. And now we can move on to our third match, singles action again. You've got Finn Balor, the Demon, taking on 1/3 of the New Day. Who else but Xavier Woods? This match coming from the 6-man tag team match that these guys had at TakeOver Supremacy. Finn Balor making his debut at that NXT special. He was teaming up with the Hardy Boys against the New Day, and now he gets to go one-on-one against Xavier Woods. As you'd expect, the New Day are at ringside, but also for Finn Balor, the Hardy Boys are there as well, just to keep Kofi Kingston and Big E in check while this singles match is going on. Finn Balor, of course, displaying that unorthodox, quick, high flyer offense style, with Xavier Woods not slacking behind, having to step up and meet Finn Balor halfway with his own style to keep balance in this match. He's not going to let Finn Balor get the advantage over him. He can go. he can step up and he can put on a fight against Finn Balor. He's got the New Day behind him as well, so they keep him active, they keep him motivated. The Hardy Boys as well in Finn Balor's corner, they are there to offer their support and make sure he stays focused. He shouldn't bother about Kofi Kingston and Big E, who are, of course, trying to distract Finn Balor, just like what Xavier Woods usually does when Kofi Kingston or Big E are in a match. But this doesn't work against Finn Balor, and this, of course, bothers the New Day, and they try to get involved. But the Hardy Boys, they get to them to keep Kofi and Big E in check. Xavier Woods, of course, concerned. He comes in to try and help his partners, and that's when Finn finds his opening, taking out the New Day before bringing Xavier Woods back into the ring. Now he's got the advantage, and he puts Xavier Woods away with the coup de grace and the pin, and Finn gets his win over Xavier Woods. New Day not at all pleased with that. They got the win over the Hardy Boys and Finn Balor at Supremacy, but right now Finn Balor gets a win over New Day for his team. What will New Day do going forward? We'll have to find out as we move on to match number 4. The Brian Kendrick, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, going on against one half of the former Tag Team Champions, the Man Beast, Rhino. This revenge for the Man Beast from TakeOver Supremacy. This is his chance. Get his hands on the man who cost him that match. Now Kendrick, being more agile, being quicker than the Muscle Man, Rhino tries to quicken this match, trying to bring this match to his own pace, but Rhino, he quickly puts a stop to that, slowing down the pace and turning it into a physical contest for the tag team champion. Kendrick, not having faced a man like Rhino in a while, now has to adapt to this slow style, and although he does get a few shots in, but Rhino, he's still standing. He can take anything that Kendrick can bring to him. He's motivated to bring Kendrick down. He's not in a good mood at all, and Kendrick cannot break through that wall of offense from the Man Beast. And Man Beast, Rhino, takes advantage of that, despite Kendrick finding the opening to look for his finisher, that sliced bread number 2. Rhino counters that, gets his advantage, finding his own opening, and goes for that gore which should have happened at TakeOver Supremacy. Tag Team Champion almost split in half with that gore. Rhino goes for the pin, gets his revenge on Kendrick, going forward to that rematch that they want to have at Payback. We'll find out what match type will they choose for that rematch. Find on the last episode of NXT. But tonight, Rhino gets his win over the Brian Kendrick. And now it's time for our main event. Miz and Morrison, former tag team champions, teaming up tonight only against Kevin Owens, the number 1 contender for the NXT championship, against the partner he chose for this match, one half of G2, Corey Graves. You can't talk about tag team matches without chemistry, because chemistry is key. And despite their teaming up for the first time, Owens and Corey Graves are able to work hand in hand. The chemistry is there. Graves is able to give Kevin Owens the partner he was hoping to get for this big match against these champions. But of course, you can't ignore the chemistry that Miz and Morrison had back in the day when they were a big tag team on the main roster. That chemistry is brought back in this match, and they're able to go on against Owens and Graves and remind them why they worked so well to be multiple tag team champions. You've got Graves, he gets his chance against the Miz, and this boosts up Graves' offense, his ability, his rhythm, because he wants to show The Miz that perhaps Graves is a future contender for that World Television Championship, and also he could be a future champion himself, giving Miz that good match. And of course, we've got Owens getting his time against the man he will face for that NXT Championship next month. We get a taste of their match, and already you've got these guys going at it as if it's that match happening right now. Forget that they're in a tag team match. These guys are fighting like their championship match is happening right now. You've got Miz, Morrison, I'd say, gets his advantage over Owens. Owens gets his time over Morrison, back and forth like that. And The Miz is not far behind to remind Corey Graves who he is. He's the World Television Champion. He's not there for nothing. He's accomplished more than Graves has done so far, and it shows the experience gap between The Miz and Graves already in full display during this match. And at some point, countdown starts happening at the stage. An entrance all too familiar catches Kevin Owens and everyone else by surprise. You've got that clock, you've got that countdown happening, and before you know it, that entrance kicks off, and who else is popping up but Y2J, Chris Jericho, the previous number one contender to the NXT Championship, showing up and choosing not to come down to ringside, but to remain by the stage. Just get a look at what's going on. Kevin Owens, Morrison caught by surprise, but The Miz reminds his partner they still have a match to perform, and Morrison gets his advantage over. He recovers quicker than Owens, laying him out with some super kicks as well to Corey Graves. Miz tags himself in, hits Owens with the skull-crushing finale and the pin over the number one contender. But with Y2J around, what does this mean now? He's back, having lost that match against Morrison at NXT TakeOver Supremacy, because Kevin Owens showed up, and well, the tag team champions were there during that match on Morrison's side. They were looking to distract Y2J, but Kevin Owens showed up later. He took care of the tag team champions and was looking to distract Morrison, but with Y2J there, he became the victim, and Morrison took advantage of that, and he got the win over Y2J. But now we've got the reverse. Y2J has popped up. He costs Kevin Owens and Corey Graves this tag team match, but of course Morrison can't really celebrate because Y2J, he's got his eyes on him and the NXT Championship as well. That match has not ended. Y2J is back in the picture, and that ends that match and this episode of NXT. So remember guys, right after this, we've got SmackDown to wrap up week 4. Some big matches to look forward to in our SmackDown episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed our NXT episode. Look forward to SmackDown, and I will catch you in the next episode. See you there.